I started meeting with a spiritual director over 35 years ago. I've met with a variety of people over the years, usually once a month, through the hardest times of my life, amid questions and doubts, and in all the transitions in between. Before we go further, there is a problem with the term spiritual director. First, spiritual. Now, there are times we may talk about images of God, prayer, and practices, yet all of life is spiritual. So everything can be talked about: classes, vocation, call, relationships, personality, emotions, sexuality, all the themes and issues that life presents. And then the term director. It sounds like someone is directing you. Wrong. Better words would be spiritual companion or spiritual guide. Here's one definition. Spiritual companionship is a relationship in which a companion allows, through deep listening, the spiritual story of the other to unfurl. Through this relationship, the person seeking companionship is empowered to explore a deeper relationship with God, Allah, Tao, the universe, or however you may refer to the ground of all being. Now, in a broad sense, spiritual companions can be clergy, therapists, spouses, friends, life coaches, to name a few. But there is something beneficial about meeting with someone who doesn't know you in any other context. Someone who can give their full attention to you, deep listening with you for the voice of the holy in your life and in your spiritual journey. Most spiritual directors have received training and often meet with directees about once a month. Many use a sliding scale. I would recommend that you consider having a spiritual director both while you are in seminary and when you are in more formal ministry. For this class, you will be choosing a spiritual director to meet with at least 3 times during the semester. If you would rather meet in a group of 3 or 4, please contact me and I'll form a group if there is enough interest. We have a list of 7 spiritual companions connected to LSTC. You may watch their brief video introductions and then make contact with one of them to set up an initial appointment. After the first 3 appointments, if you feel it isn't a good match, consider meeting with someone else. LSTC will pay for up to 9 sessions of spiritual direction per year. Spiritual companions help you reflect on the big questions in life, like identity. Who am I in the deepest and truest sense? Meaning. What is the meaning of life, and what are my deepest hopes and desires? Calling. What do I have to give to the world? Stress. Balance. Why do I feel out of alignment? How do I find more balance amid my busy schedule? Coping. What skills for living can help me cope with inevitable pain, loss, and difficulties that beset us all at some time? Joy. How can I nurture the connection I have in nature or in peak experiences where I feel at one with what I'm doing? So why do rostered leaders need spiritual direction? How could you benefit? Here's some reasons from Deacon Barbara Kurdirka. They need a safe place to air difficult emotions. Or they need support in their Sabbath rest and self-care practices. They benefit from learning a discernment process in sync with their unique personality. They benefit from knowing what gives them life and what drains their energy. Their reflection on the movement of God within can offer spiritual insights and new perspectives in sermon preparation. Finally, their own inner work gives them a basis for meaningful discussion with seekers, often spiritually independent and unaffiliated with organized religion, who still are searching for meaning in their lives and a connection with mystery. But there are some paradoxes about spiritual companionship. Though the relationship is with a spiritual director, that person never directs you to do particular things. Though the relationship centers around the spiritual aspect of who you are, discussions about spirituality are rare. Though you sense positive changes in your inner life, these are not because you are trying to emulate Jesus. Though you may develop an intimate relationship with God, God is always more than you could ever know, remaining forever a mystery. And finally, doubts. Doubts are a sign that you are searching for an authentic spiritual life. So let's get started. Here are the next steps. Watch the 7 brief video introductions from spiritual directors connected to LSTC. If you choose, you may contact someone closer to where you live or go with another recommendation. There's a list of spiritual direction centers included with the list of profiles. 2, make the initial contact. Do this now. Get started. Get it on your schedule. Set up the meeting, either in person or in line. 3, begin to reflect on what you'd like to talk about in your first session. And remember, just talk about your life. What you're holding, what you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what's going on for you. And finally, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Blessings on this journey.